Oh, boy, howdy. Just
I
one
have
of
some
those
good news
days.
too when we get going.
Well, we're going. Hey, everybody. Sorry we're a little late today, but usually we start this podcast every Friday, 5, 6, 6, 10 a time. My power went out, and there was no rain. I thought there was rain, because I'm like, okay, I heard thunder, but it most likely was the thing that made my power go out. So,
He's not going
something
live on his
went boom.
but it's not showing it.
It's still not showing live
There
on.
it goes.
There it goes. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a little delay with some reason. I don't know. But
Okay.
thank you for joining me today. Quick relay if anybody has not already tell. AFK Journey, Corvette and Stealthy. We're playing it just before we got live. This is my sponsor right now for the next couple days. If you'd be so kind, to link down below. If you have a PC, it should be pretty easy to download. Just click the link down below. You can go anonymous or use your name. Download the game and hit level 50 and try to recruit Rowan and do the class thing. I don't know how you do that, but if you could try it, I'd be appreciated. Help support my channel if you can't subscribe or donate or anything like that. Not asking you to do that, but it would be great if you do on YouTube. So be sure to do that because that's free. Corvo, as always, and Aid, Stealthy of Jade are both with us today. How y'all doing?
We're doing all right. Got a battery on the vet today and crunk her up and made her purr and rub her around a little bit. Made me all happy and tingly inside again.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't stream it last night, but I went ahead, got the positioning right on the pegs for the back badge that I made.
Yeah.
So I printed it out in resin last night. Um, Sometime either in the morning or tonight, I'll take supports off and clean it up real good and do the curing. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So making progress slowly but surely. Got an idea popped in my head. I hadn't even shared it with Stealthy yet because I hadn't thought about it until just now. But I think I know how I'm gonna do the interior.
Uh-huh. What you got? What's the
Hey,
idea here?
your Bearthoughts says World of Warcraft.
All right, thank you for letting me know that. I will fix that
But
right now.
so they don't make green carpet
Yeah.
for this car, but
Uh-huh.
they do make a nice red. So what I was thinking about doing, since we're going with this whole Nintendo theme, and
Mm-hmm.
you give me your ideas, both of y'all,
Okay.
buy the red carpet kit,
Okay.
but only leave the driver's side half red. The
Mm-hmm.
other side half, we bleach it and we dye it Luigi green.
Luigi Green. Okay.
So then when you do the seat covers, you do black seat covers with red inserts on the driver's side,
Uh-huh.
black seat covers with green on the passenger side. And I
Mm-hmm.
happen to know a lady at my place of business that does embroidery
Yeah.
that might embroider a Mario M on one seat and a Luigi L on the other, and we'll just
Yeah, since you only have like 2 seats to worry about, you got nothing to worry about. We're back in the
right.
back, right? Unless you want to get
Right,
some
so
carpet, you
all the
know.
passenger side will be Luigi themed,
Yeah.
and all the driver side Mario themed. And I'm thinking about trying to find a model, whether it's a brick, a star, a bullet, whatever, bullet bob, whatever for Mario,
Yeah.
3D model it to fit where my shifter knob is with a hole in the middle so the button pops up through it,
Yeah.
and my shifter knob be Mario themed too.
Okay. I can definitely see that. Why I don't know why my little thing changing it over is not wanting to change over from Warcraft to just chatting. Um I'll keep working on that. Okay, so yeah, like that seems pretty easy. For some reason in my mind immediately like imagine like one seat totally green, one seat totally red. But you know, black and green, black and red, you can still do that too. I don't really mind Mario's red and blue color scheme, but that is just a little too much, I think, too. Because like,
Right, which is why I dropped the blue in both of them and
mhm,
went with the black. Because I
yeah,
think it'll look sick as shit to have like Mario red with black, Luigi green with black.
hmm,
Because all the dash pieces, trim and stuff is all black, so it'll tie it all together.
yes,
And then if I do the light up Nintendo emblem that I was talking about on the passenger side, um, and I can turn it on, that's gonna look really cool as shit.
Thank goodness for authenticity codes. Okay. Yeah, I think that you how much does something like that would cost? Like, could you just again? I know there's a lot of people that love y'all's car, love your car especially, so they already have like already made seeds go. Can you just order a kit, bleach it, and then fabric
So
dye
yeah,
it?
so with the carpet, you're gonna order the kit,
Yeah.
and we're gonna bleach the half that has to go on the Luigi side because it's gonna come red, so it'll be
Mm-hmm.
the right red for Mario.
Okay.
You bleach the passenger side, and then you can't just do like a submersion dye. What you're gonna have to do is mix up like a dye in like a kind of like a paint bucket, but thin,
Yeah.
you know, and then you paint the dye over on the side that's been bleached, right?
Yes.
And let it dry, and then you end up with half red, half green, right up the middle of the car,
Mm-hmm.
half and half. And then you get there are like again with the red, they already make red and black seat covers. So what you could do is buy a set of red and black and then do something along the lines of getting the airbrush out and some tape and a really nice acrylic green to match the carpet
Yes.
and
Really
paint the
green would be
red
nice.
green.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That doesn't sound like very bad. I know, especially since hey. Oh, never mind. That was not you. I'm about to say, hey, I got a sound notification, but no, that was just Twitch. Oh, like I got excited, like something finally made it, but maybe it's a little delayed too.
But
Sorry.
yeah, it's gonna be. I think that that'll be a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I stick with it or not, it's just something that's rolling around in my head right now. But
Mm-hmm.
it come to me when I cranked the car up a while ago and I was sitting in it and I was looking around in the car and it just dawned on me, that would be badass.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, then I would probably do some stupid shit like take it to the car show and dress up as Mario and sit in the Mario side.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to find somebody to dress up as Luigi and sit in the Luigi side.
Somebody really skinny, right?
I don't know who that would be. Oh no, you know what would even be better?
Uh-huh.
Would it be like do like have my youngest, since he's the shortest
Yeah.
of the two, dress up as Mario, and
Mm-hmm.
my oldest, since he's the tallest,
Yeah.
dress up as Luigi and go to the car show and have them chilling in the car, you know? The photo opportunities for that shit would be ridiculous. If anybody got sued by Nintendo, it would probably be me for
Pat his belly just a little bit, just a little bit. You don't need a lot of it. Just pat his belly. Yeah, it'd be so interesting. I know you're trying to get your car, or at least you're gonna try to get your car maybe ready for next year's little car show. Do you have a car show
If it doesn't
locally, or
make
is it?
next year, I'm hoping the year after at the latest. That's
Mm,
what I'm hoping for.
yeah. Um, and if you could still make one light blink, that would be great. Just, just a.
Yeah, and I actually thought about that after we talked,
Uh-huh.
and Stealthy pointed out that all I would have to do is find the wire to each light
Yeah.
that powers it to flip up
Yeah.
and powers it to flip down,
Mm-hmm.
and take the power for the up and put it on one side and the power for the down and put it on the other side and have a 3-position switch, so sitting in the middle it's neutral,
Yeah.
right?
And then two
And then
sides.
if I flip the left one up,
Mm-hmm.
it goes click, click. Flip the right one up, click, click.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done.
Yeah, it's a video I
Whether
sent to
I'm gonna
Corvo.
go that far before we get to like a car show showing, that's gonna be a different story. Cause man, that's gonna take some tracking some wires down,
All
But that
right.
would be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it done, and maybe someday at my place. Okay, so quick.
Well, it'll probably end up at your place before it's completely done at some
Yeah.
point. Because I mean, I'm gonna come. We're planning a trip to come see you, if for no other reason but to drive up and see you.
Gotcha. So let's just do a quick little rundown. You are helping me with my sponsor, and I want to get your views on it. This is Corvo's review on it. How are you feeling the game right now?
I put it like this: I like it because I'm a big story fan.
Mm-hmm.
This game is largely about the story, not so much as about the combat. Now, there's plenty of combat. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but it's not the kind of combat where you have to sit and go, okay, I need all of this on this person. You don't have to really think out what, as long as your characters are at an adequate level,
Mm-hmm.
you can pretty much get through the combat, which is
Okay.
nice because it allows you to focus more on what's going on in the story.
Yeah.
And it's one of those kind of things like when I would say this would be one of those games that I kind of use like Wizard 101 for. I can do it and not really have to think real hard about it and just play the game, enjoy the story, and have a fun time. I won't even say I would venture to say that I would play this game even after your sponsorship. Maybe not as regularly as I'm gonna do during your sponsorship, but
Yeah.
like those days where I get up and I'm like, I kind of feel like trash, but I kind of want to do something.
Yeah.
I could see myself sitting here and fucking around in this bitch all day.
Because so it's so simple that you could just almost turn off your brain and play.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you're paying it. It's kind of like watching a cartoon,
yeah.
but occasionally you have to tell people fight or hey, put this shit on,
Yeah.
so that you can level. That's
Mm.
kind of what it's like. Imagine, I don't know, imagine watching Demon Slayer, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing you're responsible for besides getting them from point A to point B so you can see the story is making sure that they have their sword on them and
Yeah.
making sure that you apply skill points so that they level to make it through the fights. That's it. That's
Okay.
kind of what it's like. You would enjoy watching the story and having a little active participation in it, but you don't have to be like, oh my God, I've
Super
got to go
involved.
grind for 4,000 hours to be able to get this one magic, ore for my blade. You don't have to do that kind of shit. It's an in between.
Okay. Okay. It's good to know. All right. Well, speaking of sponsors and games like that, let's get into the first little thing I had played out here today, and I want to get your thoughts on it. And I'm not gonna play devil's advocate. I just want to get your thoughts on it. So let me give you a little quick rundown. I would have like a kind of a little bit of a script so I can get. I got a little bit more details, and there's a few things in here. So this past week, a contract was um given to a couple creators, and let me read this out to you. Company that does advertisement for Mihoyo Genshin Impact sends straight to content creators. I put CC. Um, Content creators under contract where they can't do videos, play, or state any of their views of upcoming games, Weathering Waves. One of the creators no, one of the creators leaked, and people are upset about the content, about their favorite content creators can't give their views on such games or anything with them. Okay, some things they must commit to according to the contract, but does not state payments or even the tweet they have to do. So they have to do this stuff. There's no way around it, and there's no statement of payments, leaving the interspersions in the contract, wondering if the content creators will be paid for those actions. If the content creators get any offerings with any other games and don't report it, they could be fined up to $500,000. And after content creators ends, even if the contract ends, they have to report if they get contracts from any other company. So I was like, I understand some of the parts of it, but not able to state.
From a company standpoint,
Uh-huh.
this is what I would say the company's doing from their view.
Mm-hmm.
What they're trying to do is limit the leaks. First off,
Yeah.
second off, they're trying to lock down that they're going to have the talent to do this in the foreseeable future. Meaning, that's why there's so much jargon in there about letting them know if you get offers, even if you leave, let them know because they want to be able to know if they can count on calling you back.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking to secure one, the information so that it's not getting leaked, and two, the talent to continue to create the game.
Yeah.
That's what the company's looking for in in layman's terms.
Mm-hmm.
As a content creator, however, there's a couple of issues for the person creating the content.
Yes.
One, signing this contract means that you're they're trying to lock you into doing the job
Yes.
for X amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which means you have to consider that before you take the job, because if you fuck up and take the job and then decide 6 months later this shit ain't for me, now you're liable for that. And then when you exit, you've also signed a contract saying you have to let them know before you sign a contract with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That way they can, I guess, in a way, what it's for is so they can pay attention and make sure you're not bringing any of their in-house content, the kind of shit that you might have created for them,
Yeah.
directly into somebody else's game and making it competitive.
Yeah.
So now you have to consider the type of work you're doing, how you're doing that work, how similar it is to the work you used to do at Mihoyo. It basically is. It's a whole lot of shit just to essentially discourage you from going somewhere else.
Yeah. And another part of it, I didn't get that written down. They had a clause where if you had malicious intent or malicious acts toward their games, they can do. And people were saying it was such a broad word that like what they see malicious or hurtful toward their game, they can still have class actions against you. And you know, up to $500,000 is definitely a scare tactic. Like, hey, don't with us or we'll give you for $500,000, which most creators don't have. That's pretty much like all their money.
They're trying through the scare tactics to control their content base. What is giving them their content, the creators that is making them, the money.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. And
now
go ahead.
I kind of have two different opinions on that.
Yeah, you have both views because one you work and then you kind of
right. So from a business standpoint, you want to make sure that you continue to have the talent to make this stuff, because you want to continue to make the money. Plus, I mean, if you're looking at your fan base, you want to continue to be able to give the fans what they want at the level and quality that they have been getting it. And the only way you can do that is to try to guarantee that talent stays where it's at and not going somewhere else. So from a business standpoint, I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing that they're wanting to do.
Yes.
It might be a little shady on how they're going about trying to secure it. But it's not. I mean, I understand why they want to keep it there. I mean, they've been successful. They continue to be successful. They want to continue to keep the talent that's making them successful.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
on the other hand,
my viewpoint from the creator standpoint is that fuck you. You're limiting what I'm allowed to do.
Limiting.
You're limiting where I can go. You're limiting what I can do at these other places. And now you're telling me that if I break any of these laws that limit this shit that you've put in this contract, I'm going to be limited financially because you're going to take all of my fucking money.
Yeah. And
so,
and again, like some big creators out there, let's say you've been working with a certain game forever, right? This is your staple game. But a new game comes out that's similar to it. Me personally, I said this before, I don't see it as a competition. I see it as a player. I see it as, oh, now I can play two good games. I don't see either one of them better than the other. I can have two games I can enjoy now.
Right.
But now the creator's going to be like...
The problem is not everybody sees it that way. For example, I mean, you know as well as I do, how many times have you seen a game come out and it was good to you?
Yeah.
And then your buddy buys a game that's, for lack of a better term, the exact same fucking game with a different skin on it, right? But he used to be all up in the game you're in, but now this game is suddenly so much better.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same shit, just with different skins, and then he hauls ass to them, and he's playing that game. Well, they just lost out that money and that funding
Mhm.
because somebody was allowed to make essentially the same game with different skin.
Yeah, it's when there's like the cash up area is like, hey, I can only afford $5 for this battle pass, but if I buy this battle pass, now I can't buy that battle pass, and I had to, because not everybody has a lot of money, and I get it. So you have to make the decision. Okay, which one is gonna get it this
Right.
month?
I mean, you can look at any number of games. There's numbers and numbers of games that are basically the same game with a different skin on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
People move from this one to this one because it's similar to the one they were playing, but they like this graphic style better
Mm-hmm.
because the graphics are just a little different. It plays more to what they like.
Yeah.
So, like for example, you've got Genshin Impact, and it's largely anime themed looking, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people that are into anime, people that are into that look and feel are going to want to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
People that don't like that look and feel don't want to play that game. But you take that exact same game, strip that look out of it, and give it the look of World of Warcraft or any other game that other people do like that graphic style,
Yeah.
they're going to play that one. And it ain't because the gameplay is different. The gameplay is the exact same. It ain't because anything in the game is different. It's about the look of the game.
Yeah.
The game looks more like what they enjoy looking at.
Yeah.
Star Wars is the same way. I mean, you look at the Old Republic. We've been playing it off and on, right?
Yes.
So there's any number of other games that play exactly the same damn way. They just look different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people playing those versus Star Wars, just because not everybody wants to see the look and feel of the Star Wars universe. If you took that exact same gameplay and slapped Genshin skins on it, people that play Genshin might be playing that.
Yeah. See, that's
because
the problem
that's
with
what
that's the problem with free play games. And I will say a problem because if you are a maker of the game and you have a bunch of other free play games, people are able to jump ship so easily. It's like, hey, it's free. I have to pay no upfront cost, and I can just go there and play it. And they're all
it
like,
doesn't even have to be a free to play game for that shit to happen. You can look at shit like PUBG. You can look at shit like
I thought PUBG's free. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm saying it doesn't have to be free to play. What I'm saying is it could be any game. You could take PUBG. You could take Paladins. You can take any number of games
Yeah.
that are first person shooters, and they're basically brawl PvP, right?
Yeah.
They all pretty much play the same. I mean, granted, you may have different names for skill types or types of things you do, but the object of the game is still to kill each other, right?
Yeah.
And the object of the game is to make it from one side of the map to the other side of the map. All of it pretty much the same, but some people like the way PUBG looks, some people like the way Paladins look, some people likes the way other games look, it just basically comes down to what is visually appealing
Mm-hmm.
about the game. I mean, you can't tell me that one of the first things that drew you to Genshin Impact wasn't the visually appealing art style.
Honestly, full stop. And some people say the same thing. At least from my view, is the idea if it was like Breath of the Wild. I'm like, wait, it's like Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild.
Right.
That's a great game. I'm like, it's anime theme. I don't mind anime. Let's try it out. And I just went straight into it, going,
But the point is there was something similar to a different game
yes,
that you
totally.
looked at that you liked, and it was like, I want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like me. Paladins is fun to play, but it's not necessarily when it comes to a first person shooter, because I have different art styles I like in different types of games.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the art style that I enjoy. However, if you took that exact same game and slapped something like Halo art style on it, or Destiny art
A little
style,
more real. Okay.
Destiny art style on it, that style of game I think looks good in that type of art style personally. So hell, I'm gonna at least try it.
Yeah.
You know,
So some other creators are out there. I'm not gonna say, people's name, but one of the main one is mostly everybody's like Voldemort of Genshin Impact Tectone. So a lot of people hate him, a lot of people like them. I don't really have an opinion either way. Are saying that this contract is setting a bad staple, right? Because some people are taking this contract, right? They're taking this contract, even though the wording is not at all, for as far as you can read it, beneficial towards the content creator. Like, it
the
doesn't
only
really
way,
help them.
the only thing you can look at as a content creator from
Uh,
that contract that is a positive. Okay,
mm,
if you, and this is only if you know what you're looking at. Okay,
yeah.
because from any person that doesn't know what they're looking at when they're looking at contracts, they're not going to see this.
Mm,
But my first impression when I read that contract wouldn't have been all the negatives, all the limitations. My first impression when I read the contract would be that this is a secure thing. They're putting all these limitations and stuff on it, but as long as I follow what they're asking
mm,
and I perform well, bet I've got it. I'm
yeah.
here.
But the whole little malicious thing is so vague because they can judge what's malicious and
But
what's
here's the
not.
thing, though.
And I'm like,
Here's the
that's a little
thing.
wordy.
Here's the problem when you look at it. So malicious is vague.
Yes, very
It's
vague.
vague for two reasons, for a positive and a negative reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's vague for a positive reason because if you're performing well, you're doing well, then that gives them the leeway that if you do slip up, do something, they can say, "Ah, that wasn't that malicious. We can let
Mm,
that ride." That's the positive side. The negative side is if you're poorly performing,
yes.
like you're sitting there and instead of coding whatever you're supposed to be coding, you're fucking around on your phone and sending your wife huggy emojis when you're supposed to be working, then hell, the word boo could be considered malicious because
Mm,
you're giving away part of a scary Halloween theme or some shit. So again, it comes back to what you perceive,
mm.
what they're actually willing to do, and how far they're willing to go.
It's like,
And then
okay,
another thing that people don't take into account is these contracts are not always the dream child of the company.
uh-huh.
I know this from where I work at. There is a shitload of verbiage in contracts where I work that has absolutely nothing to do. Fucking senior management had nothing to do with it.
Mm,
The only
mm.
reason it's there is because their lawyers are saying, put this shit in there or else we can't save your ass in the event of something happening.
Yeah. So like me, I'm thinking malicious is like, hey, you have an opinion about something in life, right? Whether it be something a little risky, political or otherwise, or personal opinions on something, or they say, hey, I think this could be better in game. I think this could be harder. I think this could be more challenging. I think this
I,
part is a
I
little
don't think
lackluster.
I don't think this could be harder, this could be better is going to be considered malicious. That is actually what we would call constructive criticism.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
What's going to be negative is if I go out and say, "Yeah, we're doing this new event. We're coding it now, but it's going to be complete trash because it's shit, because it's this, because it's that." Those are malicious comments
Yeah.
because you're not just saying I don't agree with it. I think we should do this. You're just directly saying this is going to be shit.
Yeah. Some content
Um,
creators definitely say about Genshin Impact, like, this is trash, this is shit, this is terrible. Like, you shouldn't like this. And like that to me is like, if you but like you want to give them criticism, and sometimes your criticism is a little overbearing, but it's still the truth. But at the same
but
time, you can
the
word
thing
your
is,
stuff a little bit better to maybe not
the
piss them
thing
off.
is, it's not considered constructive criticism if there's not a suggestion behind it to make it better.
Oh, well, some of them
Okay,
do, some of them do not.
so
I'm not
like
gonna try to defend them for that.
for example, completely hypothetical. Let's say that you made an overlay for the
Yeah.
podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking my opinion on it. Constructive criticism would be, hey, I don't think this part really works. Have you thought about trying to do something like this? Because I kind of think this is kind of shit and it
Mm-hmm.
would be better this way. That's constructive criticism. Malicious would be for you to show it to me and me to turn around and jump into chat and be like, guys, Grumpy just made the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, it was such trash. And that is malicious.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It'd be like me happy playing something on stream, but then typing in chat all my inner thoughts. It's like, yeah,
Right.
don't read the chat. Don't read the chat.
Go play.
Um,
By the way, the youngest just said this game is freaking awesome.
love it, love it. Okay. But yeah, I just want to get my thoughts out there. Of course, some people. This is my last statement on it. Some people are saying that the payout that they have not shown the payout just yet. At least there has been more information released today, but I've not watched the video for it. But people say the payout for it compared to what like it used to be for payouts for this kind of stuff is terrible. Like it's dollars compared to what it used to be. Um, and I am a mind of it if it once was this way, or they usually pay out this much money, or this is like a staple price, and they're lowballing you, and they're going straight to the content creators, right? They're not going to content lawyers. They're going. I say if you're a big channel, you should have a lawyer, but they're going straight to the content creators that are not very much wise to this kind of stuff, and they're just signing it. It's like, do you know you just signed pretty much dollars on the penny where you could making hundreds on the millions?
Right. So there's two sides to that.
Mm,
You're right if from a market standpoint that market has stayed there.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So if the market's here, it's still here, everybody was getting this before,
Yeah.
it stayed here, but now they're giving you this, even though the market's here. Yeah, you're right. That's shit.
Mm,
However, you have to take into account if the market was here when those people started,
yeah.
and now it's fell to here when you start, they can't pay you. They still can't pay you what they were paying the others because that would put them in the hole. How
Yeah.
are they going to give you a job if they're going to be out of a job company wide in like 3 months? You know, it's a check and balance system. You know,
Yeah.
like if I go and look and I see a company has been making $500 million a year annually for the past 10 years, and they're still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy that was hired 5 years ago was making this, but they're lowballing me doing the exact same job. Yes, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
However, if I look at that same company, they've been making $500 million, but over the past year, they dropped down to making $200 million. I can understand them not offering me the same as what they offered the other guy when he started because they don't have it to give.
Yeah. Apparently, like I just looked up a little bit. It is going to be like the same company that did Genshin Impact, MiHoYoverse. But they're also doing this for Zenless Zone Zero, which is a new game they're releasing. They already released a beta and alpha for it, so maybe just a possibility. They're not thinking it's going to be as big of a success as Genshin Impact, but this contract is also going to, people that might be doing that because it's the same. It's a company that's like working with with MiHoYo. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but I am gonna play Weathering Waves, and if it, of course I'm not a single focus channel. I don't have just a single game I play, and then to focus my channel solely on that game. I'm gonna play it, and if it's good, I'm gonna say it. Right? It's just like, why limit yourself? Bless you.
None of us are single game players. I mean, shit, we bounce every 2 weeks on the multi stream.
Yeah.
We how many times have I been like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna play on stream today, but I'll play something. Like last night, I didn't know what I was gonna play when we got through talking, but I played some Genshin for a little while.
Yeah.
I could have very well easily said, no, I'm gonna play the Quarry. I'm gonna play Soul Reaver. There's people that get pissed off when you do that. I get that. I'm sorry that you thought that you were going to see what I played last week continue this week, but I am not making this a career. I'm not that person. I'm playing a game, enjoying myself, and I'm putting myself there in case you want to enjoy it with me.
Yeah.
If you don't want to enjoy the game that I'm enjoying, then go find the game that you want to enjoy. Yeah. I have no problems with that.
Okay. So I'm glad that that game's coming out. Of course, I'm a mind if one game's doing successful and doing good, and you make another game that's just like it, and do better, then it would just like it'd be just like the whole thing. One game gets better, well then they'll step up their game. Well then they get a little bit better. Well then they step up their game, and it would be just better for the player base than anything if
a
they have
little
competition.
in-house competition never hurt anything as long as it doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah. As long as someone's swinging hands. Okay. Speaking of swinging hands, and I know you are a little bit of a I wouldn't say a fanboy, but you are a fan of Sony, right? You like Sony. You want to get a PlayStation 5. You've been wanting to do it for a while, and you may have already heard about this. This is something that happened this past week. And again, get your view and opinions on it. Let me give you a rundown. What's happened here. You've heard Helldivers, right?
Yes.
Okay. Helldivers required a couple days ago, or about last week or so. Do you have a PlayStation account to play the game when they said to start you didn't need one? So they are saying because Helldivers got really popular. I mean, it's one of the most popular games on Steam right now, and they were saying, "Hey, at first we might be putting you on requiring a PlayStation account." And but then PlayStation said, "Nope, you don't need one. It's okay. Keep on playing." So it goes on. After games became popular, they require you to have it. People in Ukraine and India can't play because they can't because you have to have and buy PS4 or PS5 in order to make a PlayStation account in those countries. But come to find out that actually in 121 countries out of 195 countries weren't able to make PlayStation accounts either because they couldn't make it there or they had to own a console in order to make one. Like literally you had to buy it. And after a while, Steam actually fully closed that account. Of course, let's see, they removed or delisted Helldivers on Steam because 177 countries couldn't actually get access to a PSN account. They were making it a requirement, and a lot of people that already bought the game now had to have a requirement, and they couldn't play their game. And this past week, PlayStation has now reverted that, and people are so happy about it and trying to bring the game.
Well, they didn't have a choice but to revert it because what was about to happen is they were fixing to get hit with a class action lawsuit from people who couldn't play a product they had paid for.
Mm-hmm. And then, like after they brought it back, they of course they got review bombed, right? Like people were pissed. A lot of bad reviews. I mean, like if you saw the chart, it was going like this and good, and it went. I mean, the line went down dark. I mean, whoa, it was pretty bad. And now they're making a cape out of the reviews, and you see the red, and you see the blue, and then you see the red, and then you see the blue back up. It's gonna make a cape out of it as a memorabilia of this moment that they kind of because according to the people that made Helldivers, they actually didn't want to do it. Like they were actually like, you know, if it's bad and you don't like it, speak up and say something because maybe then they will reverse the idea. And PlayStation, like you said, pretty much had to do it because that don't look good for one thing. PlayStation don't mean like the good guy. Usually the good guy. Other companies would like,
and I
don't care.
You know, I damn near would almost bet that wasn't even like a decision like, oh, we sat down and had a discussion and made a decision. I guarantee you that was some fucker that was in charge of that particular account that just decided, hey, let's make a shitload of money. Turn this on. They have to do it. I bet that motherfucker don't have a job no more.
Well, the person that set up this that says speak up, make your voice heard in the place that matters, and review it, and maybe they'll change your mind. He got fired. So like that was kind of like he spoke up like, hey, review it. You know, state your displeasure behind it. And because he said that on Twitter, he got fired. I'm like, that's the way it should be, right? Hey, not right now. Ma'am. Don't you start. Okay, so I was thinking that this little feisty little thing get me sidetracked, and my brain is not like functioning right. I was thinking it was a great thing. I'm glad they did it. Right? They should have never done it in the first place, honestly. But they were saying, well, there might be some hackers in the game, and it would be a way to like find those people hacking real fast and like ban them. I get that, but it seemed like after they got really popular, Helldivers got really popular. It's like, okay, well, now you have a lot of players. We like data. We like people's information. That's bank money. Let's now get everybody to sign in, make them give us their credentials so we can make money from it. Because everybody knows your data is worth money. It is. It's
Well,
just
I
billion
think
dollars.
I honestly think, in my opinion, somebody made a dumbass decision,
Mm,
and I give PlayStation props on the fact they were willing to revert it.
mm-hmm.
Because how many times have we seen a game company make a decision like that,
EA.
EA
Yeah.
or some others, and they don't revert it no matter what the fuck you say? Even they'll take the loss. They'll like give you they'll pay the money for the lawsuit
Mm-hmm.
rather than admit that they were wrong. To me, they get some props, in my opinion, from the fact that they said, "Oh shit, we fucked up. Let's fix this shit."
Yeah. Some people were saying, and I kind of agree with this one. It's kind of the notion if it's not there at the start, and later on you make it a requirement, it kind of sets a bad juju in some people. Like
Bad
some
tone.
games, yeah, like sometimes, like, hey, if it's not the beginning and you put it in later, you're just taking from me. Especially if I can't play your game, I would be really upset if I can't play your game that I bought, paid for. But then people are like, oh, other companies done it. I'm like, yes, at the start. It's like, hey, you want to play this game on GOG or Steam? Well, you still like Star Wars. A good example. Like, you still have to have a Star Wars account in order to start play the game that's on Steam. You don't have to have a Steam account. You got to actually have a Star Wars account to play the game. That's just normal. Okay, go for it. It's a beginning, not toward like weeks and months on end. And now you're gonna ask that kind of thing. It's like a little too late. But and of course, some of the real fanboys, I've read some of these statements. Some of these people that are like really PSP fans are like, like Sony, you made the dumbest idea ever. This is terrible. Why are you cowering down to these PC players? I'm like, they literally said PC players are a bunch of idiots that don't know the difference. I'm like, I'm sorry, but they bought it on Steam. If they wanted to buy it on PlayStation, and some of them like they should just go out and buy a PlayStation. I'm like, how many people have just $500 just laying in their pockets going out to buy one?
See, that goes back to that conversation we had before between PC elitists and console elitists.
Mm-hmm.
I believe both factions are dumb fucks.
Yeah,
Okay,
true.
because I play games on consoles and PCs, and hell, I'm not even exclusive on consoles.
Mm-hmm.
I got Nintendos, I got Xboxes, I got fucking PlayStations.
Mm-hmm.
I got a PC, obviously. The point is that if you are so tied up in the damn device you're playing on, how the hell are you ever enjoying the game that you're fucking playing?
Yes. Don't limit people's
Like I
options.
said before, there are games that are good on consoles. There are games that are good on PC.
Mm-hmm.
There are games that are good on one console versus a different console. I have played Dishonored on both PlayStation and Xbox. Guess what? I do like one more than the other.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Destiny's a good and PlayStation.
Destiny
But
works.
sucks on PC.
Destiny works really good on console. I think shit on PC.
Mm-hmm.
It fucking elitist bullshit.
Yeah, I just especially like I'm sorry, the argument about like you should just go buy a PlayStation is just I don't have $500 to sitting around every time, and I already have a PC, so okay. My mom is calling me during podcast. I don't know if she's here or not. Hello? You alright? I heard about that.
Hey, shot.
Say again, my dog is barking really loud. I can't hear you. Oh, we haven't went there yet. That's tomorrow.
What?
It's all right. I'm right now on the podcast. I'm literally talking to you while I'm on the podcast. It's all right. No. Well, you come join the chat in a little bit. All right. Love you. I said you can join the chat if you want to, but love you. All right. My mom says hey, everybody.
Hey.
But yeah, we started a little late today. Anyways, love you. All right. Bye bye. She sounds sick as can be. All right. Anyways, she was asking about my trip. That's tomorrow. It is what it is. I am definitely looking forward to that. We can talk about it a little bit, but yeah, I'm just glad they turned around and do it. Some companies won't do it, like you said before, and since they did it, I think that's sets a good precedent, right? Like that's just that's good. It shouldn't happen in the first place, right? But some of them don't turn around, so it's somewhat looks good on them. But Hell Divers, I'm glad they're doing something. Someone stated that if they would have done this and like, hey, if you do it, you get a special item, and not made a requirement, but a incentive, rather than a requirement. That would have been way better. Like, hey, get a PSN account, PlayStation account, and you just get a special armor or a skin or something like that. You know, something to really motivate people wanting to do it if you want to get people's money. And I'm always for that.
Some shit off my desk.
Yeah, but I'm always for, hey, you give me something and I'll give you my data because Google already owns it. Well, not already owns it, he already have it. You know, if ever comes a day that they actually make you like make people pay for the data they have of you, I will be rolling in the money. A lot of people will actually be rolling the money. What am I joking here? All right, so I have a little trip tomorrow, which I'm excited for. And today, me and my wife went out, and we tested the kayaks. And we went to a local, what'd you call it? A river, pond? What would you call it? Where we went today? Was it a river, a pond, a lake? It's a lake, okay. And it was a rescue center or
wildlife.
It's a wildlife refugees. Wildlife. Okay, wildlife refugees. Yeah, wildlife refugee drop-off point or something like that. And I saw a yellow sign that says, may contain alligators. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Mississippi boy, Louisiana boy. I seen them couple times. I know what they do. But yeah, I need to test out the kayaks because, well, I didn't want to go to the river tomorrow and just immediately sink. Because, you know, we don't know last time they used these things or last time they actually were on the water. They could be like, hey.
I can see that fucking Sunday call a mile away. Well, before we get started on stream, guys, let me tell you about my day. I put my kayak in the water, I set my grumpy ass on it, and then I sank to the bottom, and my grumpy ass was wet.
Yeah.
All I would be able to say is you should have took your Rancor.
So yeah, I wanted to test it because I'm more like a mind of like, hey, I'd rather be playing on the safe side and know these things float than go to the river and find out. Cause
hey, I completely get it. I mean, you're talking to the guy that put a battery on his car, and the first thing I did was crank that bitch up and drive it around a little bit and make sure everything was good.
So I got him out in the little lake here, and I went a little out and then came back in, but it was so windy. I was cruising down this lake because it was so windy today. I thought it was actually gonna storm out how windy it was. And all I could think is, no alligators. I can't see the bottom of the water. No alligators. No. My wife's like, I was asking like, should I bring a life vest? She's like, you can swim. I'm like, yeah, I can swim. But then I saw that yellow sign. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to swim.
I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't gonna make you feel no better, but that life vest ain't gonna do shit for you if you fall in the water and it gets hold of you.
Yeah, they will roll. So I'm like, I was like sticking to the side. I'm like, how would you say may contain if you already rescued one and dropped it off here? Like, it shouldn't be a maybe if you already like saved them and put them there, right? It's like,
well, the reason it says may is because they're like any animal. They migrate. So they may not be there anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to test that out. Also, great thing, especially this is a little tidbit. tidbit: if you have to strap something to the back of your truck before a trip, you might want to do it the day before because you might find out, like I did today, that though the first time I strapped it down, it wasn't going nowhere. Second time I strapped it down, I couldn't remember how I did it, and that thing was just flopping everywhere. I'm like, we ain't going until I figure out how I did it the first time, how to make sure this thing's not moving. Because if I would have done it tomorrow and then try to do it then,
Hey,
I'd have been there like for half
I'm
an
gonna
hour.
give you a solely technical answer for this.
Mhm.
Your phone has a fucking camera.
Yeah, my wife said that. Like, you should have took a picture of it. Like, I didn't think of that. I was like throwing it back in the truck and going. I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, might want to remember this. I figured it out. We had to turn the kayaks. One had to be on top, and one had to be on bottom. Have to be, because if it was a reverse, it would not strap down, and one had to be turned a certain direction in order to get it strapped down. It wasn't that bad, but it was a little bit of like of a learning lesson. My wife is like, "We can get you some new straps." I'm like, "Yeah, I know that, but it's all I got." They're still good, but they're not like heavy duty ones, and they're like the like kind of thin ones, and it comes like width wise.
Yeah, like an inch wide.
Yeah, and the crank is starting to get a little rust on it because
That's what they make. That's what they make PB Blaster for, and WD-40, buddy.
Yeah. So, but they work. They do the job. They're tight. They're not moving nowhere. And we parked the truck literally right in front of my front door alarm or not front door camera system. Like right in front of it. You come to my house, you walk to my door, the camera's looking straight at my kayak, going, "Hey, if anybody goes for it, I want to see you." I don't think anybody's going to.
I got my cameras are sitting there. One of my cameras is sitting outside, aimed at my car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm excited for it. We're going to a place in Tennessee. It's about an hour and a half from here. It has some blue water parts, which I'm definitely looking forward to, and it has some dirt brown spots. I don't even mind it, but apparently, like one of the reasons why one of the guys going there is because at the end of it, there's a taco shop at the end of the river, and he really looking forward to the taco shop. I'm like, if you go kayaking just to go to the Taco Bell wannabe or the Taco Bell, but more original or more authentic, you could just drive there. I was just thinking that because apparently it's really good. Of course, we're already packing up our stuff. We already got live vest, but we're gonna buy cheap stuff and then upgrade later on. Right now, we just got the orange stuff that chokes you when you're floating in the water. I wanted to get a kind that like goes over your shoulder, and when you lift your arms up, it doesn't come up with it. It just stays around your waist. Cause I don't want to be choked. You ever been like in a life vest where it just comes up and it's just right up here, and it's just like that's uncomfortable. I don't care if you strapped it down or not. It just not do very well. And I promise it was a little bit more expensive, so we're gonna be slowly upgrading our stuff. We talked about like how would we if we were to go trips, because I want to go to other locations. I told you before, and my wife's like, well, what about the dogs? I'm like, well, if we go overnight somewhere, we gotta feed them that morning, go there, stay the night, come home the following day, and then feed them again. Because that's all I can do. That's all I can think about. It does suck not having nobody around.
There's things to do. Like you can do things, like for example, if you want to do more than one night, say like a weekend, find the room in your house that has the least amount of shit in it that they can get into. And slowly buy you some timed feeders and separate certain animals from certain animals. So, like, you don't want your damn cat to be able to get to where the dog feeder is. You don't want your dogs to get where your cat feeders are. So,
yeah,
put your cats in one room. Make sure they have a litter pan and they have a timed feeder in there for them and timed water.
yeah,
And do the same thing for the dogs in a different room. And you're good for a weekend because it's only going to drop food at the time you program it for.
yeah. We had two
Now,
cat
are
feeders.
you going to have a little bit of a mess to clean up?
Yeah.
Not probably behind the cats, but the dogs will be a different story. Unless you get lucky and you get an Ahsoka who, as soon as you put down the artificial turf pee pad, already knows what the shit's for.
Yeah, we really want to get one of those. We really do.
I recommend don't get the small one.
Uh-huh.
Get one that's relatively large, because I can tell you from just having 2 dogs,
Yeah.
they get pissy if there's not enough room for them to take a shit without being around the other dog's shit.
Like,
Okay?
I don't want to be looking at theirs while I'm taking mine, okay?
You wanna get a big enough one that then that's something that we wanna do. We wanna
Mm,
upgrade ours because we got the small one to begin with because we didn't know if either one of them were even gonna use it.
yeah.
But like shit, I got it. Cloud's like, fuck that thing. Ahsoka's like, I know what that's for. Mama, look, I'm a good girl.
Uh,
You know? And I'm like, well, shit.
yeah.
That just proves my dog is stupid and yours is intelligent. Because even now, I can go away for a weekend and I can give them food
Mm,
enough for the weekend
yeah.
and kennel them up so they're not getting into shit. I can come back, and a lot of dogs, if you keep them kenneled for a couple days or so because you're on a trip or something, it's almost like they forget what those artificial pads and stuff are for.
Mm-hmm.
Not her. As soon as you open that fucking thing, she's going straight to that bitch. She fitting to relieve the pressure. You know.
Okay. Well, yeah, I definitely want to do that, but apparently the one we're going to tomorrow, the river doesn't allow for pets, but the one we went to that one time does. But we want to get everybody a vest. Like I said, only person that will never go with us is Geo. So there will always be somebody here to just keep him company. One of the other dogs, of course. But yeah, we want to make that a thing, and that'd be kind of like our little mini vacations, kind of like a we can't take a big vacation, go for a week, but we can go for at least one day. And some of the other people from Pathfinder, they want to go overnight. They want to go
I
there
think
and
I
camp and
think you can get
kayak.
away with 2 nights if you had auto feeders and you
Mm,
separated your cats from your dogs. I
yeah,
think you could do it. Would you have to clean up a little bit? Probably, but you would. I think the benefits of having 2 days to do something else would outweigh the cleanup you would have to do when you get back.
yeah. So I am definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a way to reset my brain. Because I've been, yeah, everybody has a little time that just nothing's going up here, right? It's like it's not functioning
Yeah.
right. I
Well,
felt,
that's what scalloping's for us.
mm-hmm,
So like we've got a scalloping trip that lasts the weekend that I've already told you about. That's coming. I think it's next month, right?
yeah,
So the whole purpose of that isn't even for. I mean, yes. Do I like scallops? Yes. Do I want to get scallops so we can eat scallops? Yes. But I'm mainly going out there because when I get in the water to go, to look for the scallops, whether I find a scallop or not, I'm just floating in the ocean. I'm
mm,
literally just floating in the ocean. When I stick my head in the water like this to look to see if they're there, the world goes away. It shuts out. You don't hear shit. There's no people typing on a keyboard or somebody saying that my monitor's not working. There's no kids at the moment saying, Dad, my computer ain't working. It's just you, your thoughts, and you're chilling.
yes,
And people do not realize how beneficial mentally that is to anybody, even if it's only for a day. You're only out there a few hours. The Just being able to not have to be pressured and not have to think about the shit you think about normally
yeah.
is a big benefit.
Speaking of thinking about stuff, and this will be the little last topic because you brought this up in the Discord. And I want to hear what happened. Um, what did the guy say about all the setup we had to do yesterday?
Oh, dude, he was sitting there. We were talking at the break table. He's like, you go and you watch someone on Twitch or you watch somebody on YouTube or you watch somebody that streams, makes content, and these you see these overlays and you see their camera and stuff, and when you look at it, you think, oh, look, they turned the camera on, so they got a camera on. I can hear them, so I can hear the audio. I can hear the music playing from the game, but you don't realize all the shit that goes into making that camera show up to begin with, positioning that camera on that scene, putting in that damn overlay and getting it sized right. You don't realize how many different audio tracks they had to lay in and source just to get game audio, mic audio. He's like, I did not get it, but after watching you guys over a couple of calls, I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, and the thing is yes, it's a lot when you set up the first time, right?
Mhm.
So like the first time we set up this podcast, do you remember what that shit was like? Trying to get the overlay right, trying to get my camera right, your camera right, the audio right.
Mhm.
It was a big pain in the ass. Once you
Yes.
set it up though and you save it,
You said it, forget
it's
it.
not too bad to flip between 2 or 3 different ones, but every time you do a new one, that's a new collection of scenes you've got to create
Yeah.
for it to work properly.
Like I used to have an animation right here showing time, date, and stuff like that, but I don't very much use it no more because every now and then we mess up on time and the dates. I gotta upgrade it and update it too. All this stuff right there was all personally made, and I had to put all the links and all the graphics and all the settings. And we got Corvo's audio, my audio. We got both cameras, size and reposition. We got this overlay right here, and just in this scene alone, I probably have over 35 things that
Well,
I can function in this one scene alone.
it's like when I showed you, you got it yesterday instantly, but like when I showed you, hey, you remember that overlay you sent me? Look, I made these modifications. Well, you're like, that looks really cool, but in the back of your mind going, I bet that was a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, because you know what it would take. I had to strip that out of something else. I had to
Imagine
get
making
it in
that
there.
raw.
Yeah. And she likes it raw. Anyway, we had to I, I had to strip that shit out.
Uh-huh.
I had to get it into a scene, and then I had to format that shit to fit the overlay.
Mm,
And it's not as simple as, oh, let me just click and drop. That shit don't work that way.
yeah.
Hell, you seen I pulled in my chat in every fucking one of them except for the live stream with no issue. But that live one, that live scene was kicking my ass. And it's not that it's not chat like the others. It's just sometimes one's a little different than the other, you know? And it's nice, but you have to. I've gotten to where I save all of my shit as I do a new one as a different scene collection. That way, I can just flip a damn button and be back.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
to the
my
other.
stream deck, I barely I use it to switch scenes and a few things every then. But with our Pathfinder and with D&D now, I'm gonna be using this a lot more, and it's grateful to have it because I'm gonna be doing a lot of things for these upcoming D&D, which is this coming week, that is,
Yep.
on
It'll be this
Thursday.
Thursday, and whether it's a full 4-person party, or as I told him, I don't give a shit if the other person doesn't show up or not. 3 of us is going to start
Yes.
Thursday.
So if you're looking forward to that, please be there. Did we set a time? We just
No, we haven't set a time, but I was thinking we do 6 o'clock my time, 5 your time, like I normally stream.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking, because I mean, hell, I'm just going to use it as my normal stream for me. We'll do a multi-stream like we normally do.
Yeah.
But for my stream, I'm just going to put it in my stream block,
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, be there. I hope I see y'all there. No stream after this, of course. We gotta get to bed early tonight. I got me some. My wife got me some medicine. I got me some what was that kind of stuff, that serotonin that puts you to sleep. I got some of that medicine to knock me out because my sleep schedule is not a daytime person. So I'm gonna try to fix that with this too. It's be kind of an excuse to actually get back on normal hours. But we're gonna be setting out tomorrow around 6:45 or so, going to get some food from McDonald's, getting gas. Though one of my people said get gas tonight because something apparently happened, and then we are on the trip. We're gonna be there around 8:30. So we got early bird special down this river. These people are used to it. I am not. So
Well, the only thing I'm planning to do tomorrow is when I get up, I'm gonna go out and fuck with the car some and do a few things that I've been needing to do. Replace some vacuum lines, check that damn door motor out, because I got a feeling there's nothing wrong with the window motor.
Yeah.
I think it's just there's like for lack of a better term, think of it as a plastic chainsaw blade with teeth. So it goes down past the gear, and as the gear turns, it pulls the blade down or either pushes it up.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the window rise and lower. because it'll lower with absolutely no problem from halfway down, and it'll rise from all the way at the bottom to halfway up with no problem. I think that that's just broken.
Okay.
Past that point, I'm gonna check it. If it is, it's only like a $25 fix for the part.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be more time than it will be money,
Yeah.
you know? And that's probably something that will be next on the list because I want my windows to be able to roll up and roll down on that side
Yes.
effortlessly. And then following that'll be the AC.
Yeah. Comforts, crucial comforts. You're really surprised how much you need that kind of stuff in a vehicle, especially if you make long trips. But yeah, we're excited for it. If there is no stream tomorrow, which I plan to do a stream tomorrow, but if there's no stream tomorrow, just know I am tired of shit. So we're gonna find out if I'm gonna be able to stream tomorrow. I plan to play AFK Journey tomorrow on stream. So if you haven't already, I don't know about YouTube, but on other places, but I'll put a link down on YouTube at some point. Down below, there's a link. Please download on PC only. Download it. Hit the requirements. It helps me out big time. Help me support my family and any future endeavors on my channel. As everybody knows, I normally put my money back into my channel, but I haven't been able to do a lot lately because, well, everybody's struggle busting right now. So I will see y'all later, and as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye. 1,